Hello everyone, welcome to Sunya IS and welcome to lecture number 6 of Modern Algebra, which is asked in your Mathematics Optional UPSC CSE Paper 2 Section A. So in the last lecture, we finished up with order of elements. Okay? By this time, I feel everybody is well versed with the idea of what is a group and what all types of finite groups we occasionally deal with, right? Be it dihedral groups or maybe K4, Q4 or nth रूट ऑफ यूनिटी वाला ग्रुप है, ये सब जो है उनके एलिमेंट्स किस तरीके से आते हैं, वी आर वेल वर्स्ड विद दैट, राइट? So now we will be diving into the next part, that is your abelian and cyclic group. Okay, this is your unit number 5. So from now on we will be dealing with the groups in not in a very crude manner. We'll be following a proper structure. ठीक है, कि आपको किस तरीके से एक generalized form में you are supposed to represent the element, right? चलो, अभी तक we do know that what does an abelian group mean, right? What is a group? First and foremost, आप हमेशा देखो, आई नो इट माइट फील अ बिट रेपिटेटिव व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ग्रुप्स इन जनरल, कि हम हर बार क्लोजर एंड एसोसिएटिव एंड इनवर्स एंड आइडेंटिटी इनके बारे में बात करते हैं, बट इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर दिस रेपिटेशन टू हैपन. वाई? बिकॉज देन ओनली यू विल हैव इनफ मटीरियल. क्या होता है व्हेन वी आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग some thoughts in our minds, na, that does not pan out well on the paper. So it is very important to get repetitive with all the concepts so that आपके पास इतना material हो, so that it gets, you know, very fixed into your memory, so that you are able to write it properly, right? So when we talk about abelian group, so first of all it has to be a group. So 4 properties that we know are closure, associative, right? Then you have identity, and finally you have inverse. So these properties together form a group, right? And then along with these four properties, if you add commutativity, this is what forms an abelian group. All right? Okay. So now by definition, if a group G is said to be abelian if x operation y is equals to y operation x for all x comma y belongs to G. Now what is important? This. Even if you get one pair of elements for which x operation y is not equal to y operation x, then the group is not abelian, right? This implies that it is abelian. So the property x operation y, or if you want to say it x dot y is equals to y dot x, has to follow for all the elements of the group, right? Now let's take an example, Dn with respect to composition of functions. Basically reflections and rotations. What is a Dn group? It is the collection of all the symmetries that can happen or that can occur, the transformations that can happen on a polygon of side n, right? Chalo. First of all, let's start with the general representation of the group Dn. So it can be written as x raised to the power I, y raised to the power z, where x square equals to e and y raised to the power n equals to e, and I ranges from 0 to 1 and j ranges from 0 to n minus. So this is the general representation, or I will just write it like this one. This is just the representation. It doesn't, you know, make much of an impact. You just have to know that this is the general notation of the group, that is dihedral group. Now let's talk about closure property. Now if you remember that when we talk about dihedral groups, we have two types of elements, that is, one is rotation and the second one is your reflection, right? Now rotation operation rotation is again a rotation, right? Now, reflection with rotation gives you reflection. Then rotation, again understand that the order matters when you are operating the reflections and rotations in one element, right? And then reflection equals to again reflection. Then finally, if you operate reflection with reflection, this gives you rotation. Now, what does this mean? This means that whatever type of element you are taking, you are always getting an element of the group itself, right? So from this we can say that if I'm taking an element A of G, and if I'm taking an element of B, an element B of G, A dot B is always going to lie in the group itself. That means it is going to be closed under the binary operation, right? Also, if you just a recap, that if you take rotation to be positive, the answer is also going to be positive. And if you take reflection to be negative, the answer is negative here, right? The same funda, plus minus minus, plus plus is plus, right? Then you have plus minus is again minus, and then minus 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 is going to give you plus, right? Now let A comma B belongs to Bn, or I should say, let's take f and g since we are taking them as function. F dot g will also belong to Dn. Composition of function will always be either a rotation or a reflection, right? So this implies that closure property is satisfied for our Dn in general sense, right? Chalo, moving on. Then we have associativity. Now let f comma g comma h belongs to Dn. Now f dot g dot h and f dot g dot h will always be equal for all f comma g comma h that belongs to Dn, since composition of functions is associative, right? So associativity is also, it's very pretty simple. ठीक है, आप multiplication of matrices में also you can write just the same thing, that we know that multiplication of matrices is associative. आप इतना property लिख दोगे, that is more than sufficient. Now then we'll talk about existence of identity, the simplest transformation or symmetry, if you want to call it, is doing nothing at all to the shape. right? What does this mean? That is, rotation through 0 degrees is the element which makes no change the, right? So this implies that there exists R naught belongs to Dn such that f dot R naught equals to R naught dot f equals to f for all f belongs to Dn, right? So R naught is the identity element. ELT, this is element, short for element, all right? R naught, or I should say E equals to R naught, right? So identity element also exists for our Dn group, right? Now finally, we'll talk about existence of inverse. Now since there are two types of elements in a group Dn, so we are going to talk about them separately, right? Let's say the first one is, or let's just value, let's say this case 1, A belongs to Dn is a reflection. Now, if A is a reflection, that means A square equals to R naught, right? We know कि आप एक बार एक reflection लगाओगे एक symmetry पे, and if you again apply that reflection, you are going to get the same arrangement of the shape back again, right? So every reflection is of order 2. So if I multiply by A inverse on both sides, what am I going to get? R naught with A inverse is again going to be A inverse, and A dot A inverse is going to be R naught, or if you want to write, you can write E as well, no issues. So A equals to A inverse, where A belongs to Dn is a reflection, right? So for example, if you want to take, let's say D4, right? Now D4, the reflections are H, B, B and D dash, right? And then you have the rotations. Right? Now if you see, H square equals to E, which implies that H equals to H inverse, then V square equals to E, V equals to inverse, D square equals to E, and D dash equals to D dash square also equals to E. This implies that D equals to D inverse and D dash equals to D dash inverse, right? So here we can see that inverses for all the reflections exist in a Dn group. Now, if we talk about A belongs to N, Dn, and A is a rotation. Now, if you just observe the elements of Dn, let's say just see the rotations here. What are these? R0, R90, R180 and R270. So if you clearly notice, there is one element that is R90 with which you are able to generate all the other rotations, that is R90, right? So can I write it like this, that let's say if A is a rotation, since all elements or we can say all rotations in Dn are generated by R 360 by n. आप देखो, since it is D4, ठीक है, तो कौन सा एलिमेंट है, कौन सा रोटेशन है that is generating all the other rotations, that is R 360 by 4, that is nothing but R90, right? So an element of this form, a rotation of this form is always going to generate all the other rotations in a Dn group, that is a dihedral group, right? Is generated by R 360 by n, or we can write, let us just represent it in the form of y raised to the power r. Now r is what? R is the power that many times you are supposed to multiply y to get the other rotation, right? अभी इसको example से समझेंगे, then we'll know, right? Also the order of R 360 by n is always n. Clear? आप ये देखो, also the order of R 360 by n, example से देखोगे तो R 360 by n is R90, right? And in order to get identity element, how many times you have to multiply R90? It is 4, right? And that is going to be equal to n itself, that is clear? चलो यहाँ तक समझ में आ गया? All right. Now if the order of y is equals to n, can I write it as y raised to the power n equals to e, right? Also the inverse of y raised to the power r equals to y raised to the power minus 1, right? Y raised to the power r raised to the power minus 1, which is nothing but y raised to the power minus r, right? So basically I have to figure out the value of y raised to the power minus r, right? From here, see, if I take this again, y raised to the power n equals to e. Now if I multiply by y raised to the power minus r on both sides, what am I going to get? Right? E into y raised to the power minus r is again going to be y raised to the power minus r. This can be written as y raised to the power n minus r, the value of y raised to the power r. So here you can see that inverse for an element of the form y raised to the power r exists in the form of y raised to the power n minus r, right? From here, okay, so from here we can say that what is going to happen? Y raised to the power n minus r is going to be the inverse of the element of the form y raised to the power r, right? अभी confusing लग रहा है, don't worry. Wait, examples, write it in green. Now, for all y raised to the power r belongs to Dn, there exists y raised to the power n minus r belongs to Dn such that y raised to the power r dot y raised to the power n minus r equals to y raised to the power r, y raised to the power n minus r, y raised to the power r e. R naught और e you can write here. अब इसको प्रूफ भी करके देख लो. Multiply it, y raised to the power r dot n minus r equals to y raised to the power n minus r plus r equals to e. Y raised to the power n equals to y raised to the power n equals to e, and we already know that what is y raised to the power n, that is e. So hence proved that an element does exist for each and every rotation of dn such that it is going to be the inverse of that element, right? Chalo, you can copy it from here, although it's not necessary. आप side में इसको curly brackets में you can write, right? चलो, now let's take an example for it. For example, D4. What are the rotations here? R0, R90, R180, R70, and then H, V, D, and D dash, right? Now, just understand it like this. R0 equals to R90 raised to the power 4. समझ में आया? All the rotations are being expressed in the form of R90, where R90 is what? Y. So what is the value of R here? R is equals to 4 here. So n equals to 4. We know that. What is n? That is the order of our R90, right? So n equals to 4, R equals to 4. यहाँ से आप ऐसे भी लिख लो इसको, right? So R equals to 4. This implies that the inverse of R0 is going to be of the form R0 y raised to the power n minus R. That is nothing but R90 raised to the power n 4 minus 4. That is R90 raised to the power 0, which is again R0. समझ आया? So R0 is the self inverse. Although it is an identity element, but we want to go along with what we have just proved. Right? So यहाँ पे you can clearly see that n is equals to 4 and R is equals to 4 for R0. This implies that the inverse is going to be R0 only, and R0 is going to be your identity element, so it is definitely a self inverse, right? Chalo, similarly, let's do this for R90, right? Now R90 equals to R90 raised to the power 1. So n equals to 4 and R equals to 1. So what is the inverse of R90 going to be? It is going to be of the form R90 raised to the power n minus R. So this is R90 raised to the power 4 minus 1, that is R90 raised to the power 3, that is nothing but R2D. So inverse of R90 is going to be R2D. Clear? Alright. Similarly, let's do for 180 as well. So R180 equals to R90 raised to the power 2, right? So this implies that R equals to 2 and n equals to 4. So this implies that R180's inverse is going to be of the form R90 raised to the power n minus R, that is 4 minus 2. This is R90 raised to the power 2 again, and this is going to give you R180 back. So again we know that R180's inverse is going to be R180, and R180 is again a self-inverse element, right? So R180 is also self-inverse. So here I am going to give you a homework. Find inverse of R270, right, by using the same method. Yeah, आप इसको find करो, देखो कि दिमाग चल रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा. Sometimes it gets a bit confusing, right? Now it brings us to the final thing, that is dn commutative or not, that is dn is abelian group or not. Now for that, अब देखो आपको पता है, you know in a general sense that आपने solve भी किया था I think जब हम dn group starting में when we were studying it, we know that they don't commute. Two elements of D3 don't commute, right? So if you want to prove that a certain group is not commutative or it does not follow associativity, you can just quote one example, right? When you are proving that to be an abelian group, any group, if you are proving that to be an abelian group, then you are supposed to go with the generalized form. लेकिन अगर आपको यहाँ पे negate करना है, that means it is not commutative, so you can just quote one example here. Clear? अब यहाँ पे आप D3 का example ले लो, D4 का example ले लो, कोई problem नहीं है. So for now we'll take h dot r90. ठीक है, let h comma r90 belongs to D4, right? What do we have to check? That h dot r90 and r90 dot h are equal or clear. Chalo, let's make a square. Now what do we have to apply first? R90. So R90 is what? Anti-clockwise rotation through 90 degrees. This is going to be what? This will be, every element is going to shift one place is anti-clockwise, right? This is P, W, B and then you are supposed to do horizontal reflection, that is going to be P and W and G and B. Right? Now on this hand, first you are supposed to apply horizontal reflection. So this is going to give you what? W, B and P and then you are supposed to rotate it through 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So this is going to be your P and W, right? So clearly we can see that h dot r90 and r90 dot h is not, right? Or you can write अब दिमाग चलाने की बात है. Like why did I write that DN need not be an abelian group? DN need not be an abelian group means that in a generalized statement आप conclusive statement तभी दे सकते हो when it is true for all, right? But if you try to solve it for D1 and D2, ये भी हम करेंगे बाद में, but I'm just trying to give you a brainstorming kind of thing, a thing, something to think about, that when you take the groups D1 and D2, those groups are going to come out as abelian. ठीक है, वो आइसोमॉर्फिज्म्स पढ़ेंगे देन आपको ज़्यादा क्लियर हो जाएगा, तब और डिटेल में इन चीज़ों को खोलेंगे. बट जस्ट गिव इट अ थॉट. ठीक है, D1 को लिख के देखो, D2 को लिख के देखो, होगा क्या? दोज टू आर गोइंग टू कम आउट abelian and Dn when n is going to be greater than equals to 3 is not going to be abelian. That is why for some n's it is abelian and for some n's it is not abelian. So that is why we write Dn need not be abelian. That means ऐसा नहीं है कि सारे ही Dn's are abelian. Clear? चलो. Now let's move on to our next group, that is your GLNF with respect to matrix multiplication. I hope you do remember what this group is like. So GLNF is collection of all square matrices of order n and the elements are coming from the field, and one most important thing is that determinant of A is not equal to 0. Here that means it is a collection of all non-singular matrices. Alright, so फटाफट से let's prove it. Closure. Now let A belongs to G and B belongs to G. So this implies that determinant of A is not equal to 0 and determinant of B is also not equals to 0. This implies that A dot B is determinant. Determinants को split करके लिखा जा सकता है. So this is going to be determinant of A multiplied by determinant of B, which is not going to be 0. Why? Because the product of two non-zero numbers is never, right? So this implies that This implies that AB belongs to GLNF, or we should just write G. Okay, group is G here. So A dot B is also going to be belonging to G. So this implies that closure property is satisfied. Now, next is your associativity, right? A dot B dot C equals to A dot B dot C. Matrix multiplication is always associate. Yeah. So this implies that the associative property is also satisfied. Now moving on, existence of identity. Now what is the main condition of for a matrix to belong into GLNF? That is, that entries should come from your the field that is we are considering here for GLNF. And the second thing is, second most important thing is that the determinant has to be equals to non-zero, right? It cannot be equal to 0. So now if I take a matrix of the form 1 0 0 0, then 0 1 0 0 0 0 1, continuing like this 0 0 0 0 1, so this is going to be an identity element, and since all the diagonal elements of this matrix are non-zero, that is equals to 1, that means the determinant of I is also not going to be equals to 0, which is non-zero. So this implies that I belongs to R group G, right? Such that IA equals to AI equals to A for all A belongs to. Yeah. This identity element, identity matrix is going to be commutative with each and every element of G. So this implies that identity element also exists for our group GL, right? Then finally, we have inverse. Existence of inverse. Let A belongs to, this implies that A inverse equals to 1 upon determinant of A multiplied by adjoint of A, right? Since we are taking only non-singular matrices, that means determinant of A is never going to be equals to 0, and 1 upon determinant of A is never going to be an not defined value, right? So this implies that for all A belongs to G, A inverse belongs to G exists, या फिर आप यहीं पे लिख लो, there exists A inverse belongs to G such that A dot A inverse equals to A inverse A I, which is the identity element for this matrix, right? Now what is remaining? Your fifth property, that is your commutative property. Now we do know that AB is not equals to BA in general sense when we talk about GLNF, right? So we can just quote one example and we can say that this is not going to be an abelian group, right? So let's say let A comma B belongs to GL to F, right? Let A equals to 1 0 1 0, or we can take 1 here, and B equals to 0 1 1 1, right? Now AB and BA. AB is going to be 1 0 1 1 and 0 1 1 1, right? So this is going to be equals to what? 0 and 0 1, then you will have 1 here, and then you will have 1 plus 1 2, right? And this is going to be 0 1 1 1, then you have 1 0 1 1. So this will be 1 here, 0 into 1 and 1 into 1, then 0 into 0 and 1 into 1 again, and again you'll get 2 here and 1 here. So clearly we can see that these two matrices are not equal, right? So this implies that A dot B is not equals to B dot A for all AB belongs to. This implies that GL and F need not be an abelian. Again, there is one sentence that says need not be, right? Need not be का क्या मतलब है? Let's say if I take an element 1 and element 2, and these are elements of the group GL1F, which is a square matrix of 1 cross 1, right? So definitely these are going to commute with themselves, right? Amongst themselves. So that means GL1F, and also F has to be a non-zero field, so it is not going to be equals to, the determinant is not going to be equals to 0, and hence they are going to commute. So that is why we are going to write that GL and F need not be an abelian. Clear? Chalo. Modern में it is all about the words that you are choosing, right? Okay, so GLNF is done. So SLNF definitely is going to be your homework. Okay, homework. Please make sure that you do them. Okay, and running में ही करना. Please don't say कि अगले lecture के बाद when we'll be revising then we'll do it. No, अभी पढ़ रहे हैं. Please do it right itself, like right now itself. All right, चलो. Moving on. Now we have a it is not a general group, ठीक है? A question kind of ही ले सकते हैं इसको. So now we are going to solve it, and we are going to see if, so that G, this is a group with respect to multiplication, and also there is an addition to this question, that is, and check if G is abelian or, right? चलो फटाफट से let's start proving. I would want कि आप अभी ही continuation में ही you start solving this question without pausing the video. You want to mute it, it's also fine. Okay. First one is your closure. Let A equal A, and A belongs to, and B equals to B, and B belongs to, right? What is the condition on the matrix? That all the elements have to be same, and they are not supposed to be equals to. That means zero matrix does not belong to this group, right? Chalo. Then you have A dot B. Now A into B plus A into B. So this is going to give me 2AB. Again A into B, A into B. So this is going to give me 2AB. Again 2AB and 2AB. Which is pretty clear that this is also going to belong to the group itself. So this implies that closure property is satisfied, right? Let's check for associativity. यहाँ पे straight forward you can write that as well कि matrix multiplication is associative, or you can just quickly take an example A, B, C, तीन matrices and you can multiply them, right? So let's take 3 examples here. So let A equals to A, 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 all right. So this will be A, 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 B, B, then you have C, and then finally you have A, A. Okay. So on the left hand side, you are going to get the first matrix as 2AB, 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 and C, right? And here you are going to get A, and then 2BC, right? Here you are going to get 2ABC plus 2ABC, right? So this is going to be 4ABC, right? Similarly for the second column as well, and similarly for the third column, third place, or the third element you can say, right? And for here you are going to get against the same thing. Okay, from here you can say that the matrix of this form is again associative, right? Okay, chalo, let's take the next one, identity. Now see, आप यहाँ पे generally just because you're talking about matrices and you're talking about multiplication, you cannot take the identity element to be your the identity matrix, that is your diagonal elements are 1 and all the other elements are 0. आपको यहाँ पे figure out करना पड़ेगा that according to the given matrix what is going to be the identity element. Clear? चलो, so let's say you have A equals to A, and let E be the identity matrix, okay, and both belong to the group, right? So I'm supposed to figure out the value of E, for which when I multiply this matrix I'm going to get again the value of this matrix itself, right? So this is going to be AE plus AE, so this is 2AE, 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 2AE equals to A, and A, right? So what does this mean? That the respective elements are going to be equal. So this implies that 2AE equals to A and A will get cancelled and E will equals to A will be equals to 0. AE, acha, this is going to be 1. Sorry. Okay. So A cancel, so E is going to be half, right? Okay. So this implies that I or E equals to half, 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 and half belongs to G will be the identity element, right? So A dot equals to E dot A will be the identity element, right? And finally we have to just figure out what is the inverse for each element going to be in such a matrix. Okay, so let A equals A, and A, and B equals to and B belongs to, right? Now I have to find out the value of B such that A dot B equals to, right? This will be A, which, sorry, B and B, and this has to be equals to the identity element. All right, so this is 2AB, 2AB and 2AB. So this implies that B equals to, not B, 2AB equals to half, right? So B equals to what? 1 upon 2 into 2A, that is 1 upon 4A. So for an element, for A equals to A and A, B equals to 1 by 4A, 1 by 4A and 1 by 4 is, or I can write it here only, is the inverse element, right? And since A cannot take the value of 0, so 1 upon 4A is always going to be a defined value, right? So this implies that inverse exists for all A belongs. Yeah, chalo. Moving on, last property is your commutativity. Let's take for an example A and A, and then you have B and B, and then you can check that if the commutativity hold for these two matrices. Now you can say let A and B belongs to, right? So this is going to be 2AB, 2AB, 2AB and 2AB, right? Now this is going to be B into A plus B into A, which is again 2AB or 2BA you can write here. So this implies that A dot B equals to B dot A for all A comma B belongs to the group, right? So this implies that B equals to A, where A is not equals to 0, is an abelian. Clear? All right, chalo. Moving on to our next question. That says check if Q8 forms an abelian group with respect to multiplication. Now, if you remember the group Q8, what does it look like? What are the elements? They are plus minus 1, plus minus I, plus minus j, plus minus. Now, if you take 1, that is going to be your identity element. It is going to commute with every element, right? But if you think about the other elements, we know that the property of Q8 is what? That I raised to the power 4 equals to j raised to the power 4 equals to k raised to the power 4 equals to 1, and I raised to the power 2 equals to j raised to the power 2 and k raised to the power 2 equals to minus 1. But I dot j is equals to minus of j dot k equals to k. Clear? J dot k equals to, okay, I is good, right? K dot j equals to minus of I, और यहाँ पे minus लिख के we can write I here. Ki equals to ik, minus of ik equals to j. So clearly we can see that ij is not equals to ji, or jk is equals to kj, or ki is equals to ik, right? So this implies that Q4 is not an abelian All right. Next up, we have another question. Check if G equals to Q plus, that is a set of all positive rational numbers, and binary operation defined as follows: A star B is equals to A dot B divided by 5 forms an abelian group or not. Now, first of all, we are supposed to check that if this group is going to form a this set is going to form a group or not, right? All right. So first one is your closure property. Let A comma B belongs to G, right? Now A dot B equals to AB by 5. Now since A and B both are positive rational numbers, A dot B is also going to be a rational number, and 5 is also a positive rational number. So if I'm dividing a positive rational number by another positive rational number, the answer is going to be again a positive rational number only. So this is again going to belong to 2 plus. So this implies that closure property is satisfied, right? Now, associativity, pretty simple. Let A comma B comma C belongs to G. Now A operation B dot C equals to A dot B dot C. So now A dot B is going to be what? AB by 5 dot C equals to A dot BC by 5. Now this is one element, and this is one element, and this is one element, and this is one element. Now this operation, this is going to be what? ABC divided by 5 into 5, right? And this is going to be what? ABC divided by 5 into 5. This is nothing but ABC upon 25, and right. So it does not matter in what order you are solving, you are getting the same answer on the both the sides, right? So that means associativity is also satisfied. Moving on, we need to figure out the value of identity element. Now let A belongs to G, right? Now A dot E equals to A. So this is the condition for the identity element, right? Or I should write this, right? So now A dot E has to be equals to A. A dot E is going to be what? AE upon 5, right? So this implies that E is going to be equals to what? 5, right? See, 5 is going to go on the numerator, and A are going to get cancelled. So identity element is nothing but the value 5. So E equals to 5 belongs to the group or the set that we are talking about here, such that A dot E equals to E dot A equals to A for all A belongs to, right? आप चेक भी करके देख सकते हो. So A dot 5, if you do, what you are going to get? A dot 5 upon 5, which is nothing but A, right? All right. Now finally you have to check for inverse element, right? Now let A belongs to G and B belongs to G as well, such that AB equals to BA equals to identity element. So AB equals to identity element is what? 5. So AB upon 5 equals to 5, right? Now what is the value of B? Value of B is going to be 25 upon A. So again you can see that it's a set of all positive rational numbers. That means this can never be a not defined number, right? So for all A belongs to G, there exist 25 by A belongs to G such that, wait a second, A inverse equals to 25 by A belongs to G such that A inverse equals to A inverse A inverse, or we can say inverse element, exists for all elements of, right? Now we are supposed to figure out if this group is going to be an abelian group or not, right? Fifth property is your what? Commutative. Let A dot comma B belongs to G, right? We are supposed to check that A dot B is going to be equals to B dot A or not, right? So what is A dot B? That is going to be AB upon 25, 5, right? And what is this going to be? BA upon 25, which is nothing but, am I writing 25 again? Which is nothing but your 5, right? Now AB upon 5 can be, B upon 5 can be written as AB upon 5. So clearly we can see that A operation B equals to B A for all AB belongs to. So this implies that G is an abelian alright. So I guess we have done enough questions so that you know how to prove an abelian group, right? Step by step closure property से लेके सारा कैसे एक generalized statement लिखना है, and if you are able to see that if you can negate that the group is not forming an abelian group, कैसे negate करना है example quote करके, and if you want to prove it by generalizing the statement, then also how you can, right? चलो, moving on, we have a theorem that says if every element of G has self inverse, then G is abelian, but converse need not be. Now we have a condition here that G is going to be abelian if every element of G has self inverse. अब self inverse का मतलब क्या है? Either the element is going to be identity element or it is going to be an element of order 2. So we are saying that we need a group in which there is going to be an identity element and all the other elements are going to be self inverses, right? So such kind of a group is always going to be what? Abelian group. Clear? Chalo, let's prove it. Let G be a group in which every element let G be a group in which every element is self inverse. So this implies that let A belongs to, then A inverse also belongs to G since G is a group, right? Also B belongs to G and B inverse also belongs to G such that A equals to A inverse and B equals to B inverse, right? Any problem in this? No. So let's name these equations as 1 and 2, right? Now agar A and B are elements of G, that means AB is also going to be an element of G, right? So this implies that AB inverse also belongs to G, right? But since we have taken a group in which every element is equals to its inverse, then what does it mean? This implies that AB inverse is going to be equals to AB only. Any problem? AB inverse भी AB के बराबर होगा. Why? Because every element of G is what? Self inverse. Now we know that AB inverse equals to B inverse A inverse by what? By property, right? Which we have studied before, that AB inverse is written as B inverse A inverse. But now if you notice, what is the value of B inverse? What is the value of B inverse? B. And what is the value of A inverse? A. So can I write it as B inverse equals to B and A inverse equals to A by 1 and 2, right? Now AB inverse equals to BA and AB inverse equals to AB. So from this, if I name this equation as 4 and this as 3, now by 3 and 4, I can say that AB equals to BA for all A comma B belongs to. This implies that it is abelian, right? समझ में आया what we did? पहले we took A and B, they are going to be self inverse elements. So A is equals to A inverse, B is equals to B inverse, right? Now the product of these two elements by closure property, यहाँ पे I will write, आप यहाँ पे थोड़ा space बना के यहाँ पे लिख लेना property, closure property, okay? Okay, and यहाँ पे just write since is a group. Yeah, that is why AB inverse is also going to belong to G. Now AB inverse is also going to be equals to AB. Why? Because we have taken a group in which every element is self inverse, so AB inverse is going to be equals to AB. And then finally we have ये property से हमें पता है that AB inverse is what? B inverse, A inverse. So यहाँ पे B inverse and A inverse का value we have substituted from these equations. So this is going to give you BA. From these two equations we are getting AB is clear. So this proves that for all elements AB is equals to BA. That is the very definition for abelian group. Now converse. Now converse is going to be what? If G is abelian, if G is abelian, then every element is self inverse. But for example, let's take कोई भी example ले लो. Let's take Z6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? You have 6 elements. Z6 is an abelian group, right? But you can see that there are elements of order other than 2 here as well, right? So that is why we can say that we have an example which negates the converse of this theorem. So this implies that converse of converse of theorem need not be. अब यहाँ पे again we cannot be conclusive about it. यहाँ पे there can be an there can be a set where it is abelian and then every group is going to be self inverse. That is fine, but it is not an if and only if condition, right? कि self inverse होगा तो group abelian होगा ही होगा, right? That is why we have an example. So we are going to say that converse of the theorem need not. Yeah, चलो moving on. So that K4 forms an abelian group with respect to multiplication. Okay. So if you remember, what was our K4 group? K4 was E, A and AB. It was known as your E as well, right? Now We have to show that, right? So that means it is abelian. वैसे भी property से we do know that K4 is an abelian group, but how do we prove it? We will prove it by using the theorem that we have just studied. By using the previous theorem E square equals to E dot E, which is nothing but E, right? Now E square equals to E. That means E inverse equals to E. So first element is what? A self inverse. Now for the second element, I know that A square equals to E. Hai, this is the property of the group. The elements are like that only. So A square equals to, excuse me, so A square equals to E. Now if I multiply by A inverse on both sides, what am I going to get? A dot A inverse is going to be what? E, right? So this is going to give me what? A equals to A inverse. Similarly, I can prove for B square. So this is going to be what? So BE equals to B inverse. Now all three elements are self-inverse, right? We are only left with what? AB. Okay. So let's see that what is the value of AB going to be. So AB square can be written as A square B square, right? And can I substitute the values of A square and B square from here? From where? Here. So A square equals to E and B square equals to E again. So this is going to be E dot E, right? So from here I know that AB square is going to be what? Is going to be identity element, and it is also a self-inverse element, an element of order 2. So can I write it as AB dot AB, right, equals to E. Now if I open it, if I multiply it by B inverse on both sides, I'm going to get E into B inverse, which is going to leave me with AB A equals to B inverse. Now again, if I multiply by A inverse on both sides, AB A inverse equals to B inverse A inverse, right? So this is going to be what? Again AB. So this is giving me B inverse A inverse, right? Now this is what? AB equals to AB of inverse of AB, right? So from the equations 1, 2, 3 and 4, I can say that space, or I'll just write it here. So using 1, 2, 3 and 4, we can say that K4 forms an abelian. Why? Just add one statement, that since every element of K4 is a self-inverse. Clear? Chalo. Let's move on to the next question. Check if that Sn forms an abelian group or not. Right? We remember what is Sn. Sn is the collection of all permutations, that means arrangements possible on the group Sn. That can be, n can be any natural number, 2, 3, 4,000, whatever. Clear? Chalo, what I would say, let's see that if it is going to form an abelian group or not, right? So first of all, closure, let f comma g belongs to Sn. This implies that f and g both are bijective functions, or you can write are bijections, right? So this implies that f dot g will also be a bijection, right? So this implies that f dot g will also belong to Sn, right? Also, it is not never going to exceed the degree of Sn, right? आप अगर f and g are functions from a set of n natural numbers to a set of n natural numbers, it is not going to happen that the composition is going to go beyond the number of natural numbers. So definitely it is going to be a bijection on a set of natural numbers from a set of to a set of natural numbers only. Clear? Chalo. Then you have associativity. Let f comma g comma h belongs to Sn, where f and h are bijection, right? Now f dot g dot h equals to f dot g dot h for all f comma g comma h. Why so? Composition of functions, since composition of is associative, right? Now, next up you have existence of identity element. Now, what is an identity element in a set of permutations? क्या होगा? आप बोल रहे हो that in a group Sn you are rearranging the n natural numbers, the set of n natural numbers. So what is the most simple arrangement? That is doing nothing at all, right? That means 1 maps to 1, 2 maps to 2, 3 maps to 3. So that makes the identity element for Sn group, right? So let f or I belongs to Sn and I equals to 1 up till n natural numbers, and each element is mapped to itself, right? So I dot f equals to f dot I equals to f for all f belongs to Sn. Yeah, so this is an identity element which is going to satisfy the following property for all elements of Sn. That means all bijections that are present in the group Sn. Then finally we have existence of inverse. Now let f belongs to Sn. So this implies that f inverse exists, or I should write there exist f inverse belongs to Sn such that f dot f inverse equals to f inverse dot f equals to identity. Why? Since f is a bijection, an inverse function will definitely exist for each f. Yeah, so this is how we can say that for every bijection there is going to be an inverse element, that is going to be f inverse, right? अब क्या होता है, जैसे when we try to visualize the elements है ना, तब हमें थोड़ी confusion होती है कि ये inverse निकालेंगे कैसे, कि अगर आपने कोई Sn एलिमेंट लिया, Sn का एलिमेंट लिया है, लेट्स से 3 1 2 1 2 3 whatever, आपने R cycles हमने पढ़ चुकी है if you remember. So if you have an R cycle, or if you have the multiplication of two disjoint cycles, right? So how are you going to find the inverse? So after we complete abelian groups, then we'll be completing cyclic groups. Then after we start subgroups, ठीक है, subgroups का थोड़ा सा intro लेके, then we will be diving into Sn group once again. वहाँ पे for मतलब like final last time we are going to study Sn group in such depth. Why? Because वहाँ पे we'll be dealing with even permutations, odd permutations, and on the basis of that we are going to go for the alternating group. क्या होगा वहाँ पे, बाय दैट टाइम यू विल बी वेल वर्स्ड विद द आइडिया ऑफ सब ग्रुप्स एज वेल, साइक्लिक सब ग्रुप्स एज वेल एंड अबेलियन ग्रुप्स एज वेल। किस ग्रुप के पास कितने सब ग्रुप्स किस टाइप के मिलेंगे, वहाँ पे आप उस सारे डिस्कशन में यू विल बी एंटरिंग, राइट। तो इट विल बी बेटर अगर आप एस एन ग्रुप को स्टेप बाय स्टेप डील करो, बिकॉज एस एन ग्रुप इज़ अ वेरी लेंथी ग्रुप, है ना। अगर उसको एक साथ में पढ़ने लग जाए सो इट गेट्स वेरी टीडियस टू स्टडी इट इन लाइक वन गो, है ना, वो बोरिंग भी हो जाता है। तो इट इज़ बेटर कि आप उसको बिट बाय बिट पढ़ो, हर प्रॉपर्टी स्टडी करते चलो, हर प्रॉपर्टी के पैरेलली आप एग्जाम्पल्स के थ्रू एसएन को पढ़ो, एंड देन फाइनली हम सब कुछ कंसोलिडेट कर देंगे एंड में, राइट। चलो, तो एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ इनवर्स इज डन एंड फाइनली वी आर सपोज टू चेक फॉर कम्यूटेटिविटी, राइट। So for commutative property we can take any example. Let f equals to this and g equals to, let's say, ठीक है, आप इसको r cycles में लिख के भी कर सकते हो, totally up to you. So I'm going to solve for f dot g first. All right, f dot g is going to be what? 1 2 3 3 1 and 2, 1 2 3 1 3 and 2, right? So I'm multiplying the two permutations, right? So basically I'm applying the function g first, so I'm going to start from here. So 1 is mapped to 1 and 1 is mapped to 3 here. Now 2 is mapped to 3, 3 is mapped to 2, 3 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 1, right? So this is the value of f dot g, and then I will do g dot f as well. So g dot f is going to be what? 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 3, and then we have f, that is 3 1 2. Now if we multiply them we are going to get what? 1 2. Now 1 is being mapped to 3, 3 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 1, 1 is mapped to again 1, and 3 is mapped to 2 and 2 is mapped to. So clearly we can see that these two elements are not equal, right? So f dot g is not equals to g dot f. So this implies that f dot g is not equal to g dot f, implies that Sn need not be a B. Again the word has come, need not, right? Why? Because S1 S2, these two I think groups are S2 tak the Sn group is abelian, right? इसीलिए we write that Sn is need not be an abelian, right? बाकी n onwards, 3 onwards, n equals to 3 onwards, the group is non-abelian. Clear? Chalo. All right, moving on to the next part. We have G1 cross G2 is abelian if and only if G1 and G2 both are abelian group. What is the condition given here? If and only if. That means क्या होगा? इस ऐसे थ्योरम का कन्वर्स भी ट्रू होता है. That means if G1 cross G2 is going to be abelian, then individually G1 and G2 will be abelian as well. Clear? So let's take the proof for it. Let G1 and G2 be two abelian राइट. अब आपको प्रूव करना है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? बेसिकली व्हाट आर यू वर्किंग विद? यू आर वर्किंग विद द एलिमेंट्स ऑफ दीज ग्रुप्स, राइट. तो सबसे पहले आप ये देखो दैट व्हाट आर द एलिमेंट्स ऑफ G1 एंड G2, G1 क्रॉस G2 गोइंग टू लुक लाइक, राइट. So let x equals to a1 b1 belongs to G1 cross G2, right, and y equals to a2 b2 belongs to 1 cross G2. ठीक है. अभी हमारे पास गिवन इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या है? दैट G1 एंड G2 इंडिविजुअली क्या है? एबिलियन है, राइट. तो आई वांट टू प्रूव इफ G1 cross G2 is going to be abelian. Basically, I have taken two elements from G1 cross G2. So I have to prove that x dot y is going to be equals to y dot x, right? So now x dot y is going to be what? X dot y will be a1 b1 dot a2 b2, which is going to be equals to what? a1 a2, wait, a1 a2 comma b1 b2, right? Now notice a1 dot a2 is equals to a2 dot a1. Why? G1 is abelian, right? a1 a2 belongs to 1. Now a2 b1 b2 equals to b2 b1, which is what? Where b1 comma b2 belong to G2. Why? Because G2 is abelian, right? Now if a1 a2 is equals to a2 a1, can I write this as a2 a1 comma b2 b1, right? Now what is happening? The first element is coming from y and the second element is coming from x. So this implies that this is going to be nothing but y dot x, right? Now what is happening? X dot y is equals to y dot x for all the elements of G1 cross, right? So from here we can write, this implies that x dot y equals to y dot x for all G1 cross, or should mention the elements here, for all x comma y belongs to G1 cross. So this implies that G1 cross G2 is abelian, right? Now let's take the inverse for it, sorry, converse for it. So converse will be that if G1 cross G2 is abelian, then G1 and G2 are also abelian, right? Now how do we prove it? Again we are going to prove it by the help of elements only. So let x comma y belong to 1 cross x equals to a1 b1 and y equals to a2, right? Now since G1 cross G2 is abelian, this implies that x dot y equals to y dot x for all x comma y belongs to 1 cross G2, right? Abelian का यही property है. यहाँ पे we have assumed that G1 cross G2 is abelian, right? So this implies that a1 a2 a1 comma b1 operation a2 comma b2 equals to a2 comma b2 and a1 comma 1, right? Now this implies that operation लगाएंगे, so first coordinate is going to be a1 a2, this will be b1 b2, right? Here it will be a2 a1 and 2 1. Now this implies that since these are ordered pairs and the coordinates of ordered pairs are equal, so this implies that a1 a2 equals to a2 a1 and b1 b2 equals to b2 b1 for all a1 a2 belongs to b1 and b1 comma b2 belongs to. So this implies that G1 and G2 are both abelian groups, right? आप conclusion में यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं. This implies that G1 and R both are abelian group, right? All right, चलो. Now let's take some examples for it. सिंपल एग्जाम्पल्स, बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है उसमें, आपको पता लग जाएगा दैट हाउ यू आर सपोज टू डील विद कॉम्पोजिशन ऑफ ग्रुप्स. So let's say we have an example Z4 into K4. So, can I tell something about the abelian property of this group G1 cross G2? I know that G1 cross G2 can only be abelian if and only if both of G1 and G2 are abelian groups. I know that K4 is an abelian group, right? This is also an abelian group. So without doing any checking, I can say that Z4 into K4 will be abelian, right? Now let's take another example. D4 into S3 into Z6. ठीक है? This is a non-abelian group. This is again a non-abelian group. This is an abelian group. But the property states that all of the elements included in the composition of the groups has to be abelian. Then only this whole group is going to be an abelian. Yeah? Alright, let's take one more example and then we'll move to the next topic. Okay? Now here D6 definitely is going to be a non-abelian group, right? ये 100% we know that this is a non-abelian group. अभी हम prove करके आए थे, I mean check करके आए थे. This is also a non-abelian, right? So since all of these three are non-abelian groups, that means the group G1 cross G2 cross G3 is not going to be an abelian. Clear? चलो. Now check if UN forms an abelian group with respect to multiplication. What is UN? UN is the group of all the numbers which are co-prime to n, okay, and less than n. Also it forms a group with respect to multiplication modulo. So this is going to be multiplication modulo, right? Now if you remember, अब क्या होगा, प्रॉब्लम क्या है, दैट UN is not a very generalized kind of a group, है ना, उसके हर बार एलिमेंट्स डिफरेंट होते हैं. आप उनकी ये प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हो कि किस ऑर्डर के एलिमेंट्स आएंगे एंड ऑल दैट, बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट इट इज़ अ वेरी डाइवर्स काइंड ऑफ अ ग्रुप. बट इफ यू रिमेंबर in our previous lectures what we studied about UN, that UN can be represented in the form of products of ZNs, that is your group of residues, right? So if you remember, U2 is isomorphic to Z1, U2 square is isomorphic to Z2, then U2 raised to the power R, that means any power of R, is isomorphic to Z2 cross Z2 raised to the power R minus 2, right? Then you have U P raised to the power R is isomorphic to Z phi of P raised to the power R. What is phi of PR? Phi of PR is your Euler's function, right? इसमें आप यहाँ क्या करोगे, Z P raised to the power R minus P raised to the power R minus 1. Clear? And then finally, and also यहाँ पे you can write that P is not equals to. And the fifth property is that UMN is isomorphic to UM dot or cross UN, where GCD of M comma N has to be 1. Now, if you notice, what is happening? That all of UNs are being represented in the form of what? They are represented in the form of composition of groups of group of residues. Z2 raised to the power R minus 2, Z phi of PR. ये कैसे भी आप groups ले लो, these are all going to be group of residues only. और composition of all the abelian groups is again an abelian group. That means आपके सारे जितने भी composition of groups यहाँ पे बनेंगे, it is all going to be abelian. Right? So composition of abelian. This implies that UN is an abelian. अब यहाँ पे नीड नॉट बी और ये सब कुछ नहीं आएगा. वाई? बिकॉज आपका जिस भी फॉर्म में आप रिप्रेजेंट करोगे यूएन को, इट इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू फॉर्म एन अबेलियन ग्रुप. राइट. अब यहाँ पे आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू 2 होमवर्क्स. ठीक है. आप क्या करो, अपने मर्जी से यू पिकअप एनी नंबर. आप 525 उठा लो. ठीक है. U100 उठा लो, U20 उठा लो, U64 ले लो, U169 ले लो. Any number you take. ठीक है. Try and make all of the isomorphisms possible. Whatever the isomorphisms according to the formula that is possible that you can make here. ठीक है. And then you check that if you are getting all of the group of residues का composition of function. Clear? चलो. Moving forward, we have a theorem. If G has exactly one element of order 2, then the element of order 2 commutes with every element of G. Now, what is the theorem saying? That if G has exactly one element, एक ही एलिमेंट है ऑर्डर 2 का, जो कि आपका एक सेल्फ इनवर्स एलिमेंट होगा. एक एलिमेंट सेल्फ इनवर्स कौन सा होगा? आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट. बट अदर देन दैट देयर इज ओनली वन एलिमेंट दैट इज गोइंग टू बी सेल्फ इनवर्स विच इज गोइंग टू बी ऑफ ऑर्डर 2. अब कोई और एलिमेंट है दैट इज नेवर गोइंग टू बी ऑफ ऑर्डर 1. क्यों? क्योंकि एवरी ग्रुप हैज यूनिक आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट. राइट. अब यहाँ पे हम बोल रहे हैं दैट identity के अलावा there has to be only one element which is going to be of order 2. That means identity के अलावा there has to be only one element which is going to be self inverse. Then that element of order 2 is going to commute with every element of, right? चलो, let's take the proof for it. Let E be a group and A belongs to be the element. अब यहाँ पे आप समझो, अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट वी आर गिवन. ठीक है. क्या हम अज्यूम करके चलेंगे एंड व्हाट वी आर प्रूविंग. हम अज्यूम करके चलेंगे दैट A इज गोइंग टू बी दैट एलिमेंट विच इज गोइंग टू बी ऑफ ऑर्डर 2 एंड इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ सिंगल एलिमेंट ऑफ ऑर्डर 2 इन दिस ग्रुप. Then this A is going to commute with every element of G. That is what we are going to prove here. Clear? Now A belongs to G be the element of order 2, और यहाँ पे लिख लेते हैं be the unique element of order 2 in G. Clear? So this implies that order of A equals to 2. Also, we know that, or I will just put it here. Also, we know that order of A equals to order of XA X inverse for all X belongs to G. Right? ये हम पढ़ के आए हैं पिछले लेक्चर में दैट ऑर्डर ऑफ A इज इक्वल टू ऑर्डर ऑफ एक्स ए एक्स इनवर्स. राइट. बट सिंस A is the unique element wait a second, टाइम रह गई. So this implies that order of XA X inverse also equals to 2. But since A is unique element of order 2 in G, this implies that A equals to XA X inverse. यही होगा. राइट. क्योंकि आपके एक ही एलिमेंट हो सकता है. राइट. दैट मीन्स आपका ऑर्डर ऑफ A and order of XA X inverse is going to be equal. This implies that these two elements cannot be two separate elements. They are going to be the same. Right. अब यहाँ से हमें easily दिख रहा है. क्या करना है हमें? AX is equals to XA prove करना है, and we can see that X is going to be all of the elements. X is going to be the variable that is going to represent all the elements of the group. Right. So simple है. AX equals to XA x inverse x going to give you what? Ax equals to xa, right? For all x belongs to. So this implies that A commutes with all the elements of the group G, right? All right. So, moving on. Again, we have some theorems. Basically, mix and match है commutative property का, ठीक है? तो फटाफट से we'll just try and prove them. If x commutes with y, then x inverse also commutes with y. क्या दिया है? That x and y, they commute with each other. That means xy is equals to yx. We are supposed to prove. अब आप visualize करो कि हमें कहाँ तक जाना है. X inverse also commutes with y. We are supposed to prove x inverse y equals to y x inverse, right? जब आप visualize करोगे, इसको कुछ अलग कलर में लिख लेते हैं. Wait a second, है ना? इससे पहले I hope we have not missed any example. Let me check. ठीक है. All right, right. Okay, so we are supposed to prove that x inverse y equals to y x inverse, right? Now, कैसे भी आप कर सकते हो, आपको proving में x inverse लाना है, right? So what you can do is you can just multiply by x inverse on both the sides, right? So you are going to get x y x inverse equals to y x x inverse, right? Any problem? यहाँ से what are you going to get? x y x inverse equals to y e, right? x inverse is going to be e. Now अब आप कहाँ तक आ गए हो? देखो y x inverse तो आपको मिल गया है. Now you are supposed to prove एक ये x inverse चाहिए आपको इस साइड पे. तो अब क्या करेंगे? x inverse से पोस्ट मल्टीप्लिकेशन कर देंगे. So x inverse x y x inverse is equal to x inverse x is again going to be e. So I can simply erase the e part here, and here I get that if x and y commute with each other, then x inverse also commutes with y. Now similarly, the second part we can take, that if x commutes with y, then x also commutes with y inverse, right? So यहाँ पे similarly आप क्या prove कर सकते हो? यहाँ पे you are supposed to prove what? That x y inverse equals to y inverse of x, right? अब हमने कहाँ से शुरू किया था? यहाँ पे x into x inverse किया था, right? So what we can do here is हम यहाँ से start कर सकते हैं, y inverse से multiply कर सकते हैं, या फिर इधर से भी start करेंगे तो भी it's fine, because यहाँ पे you are going to get identity, right? चलो, so y inverse x y equals to y inverse y x. So this will be y inverse x y equals to x. Now we need y inverse on the other side as well. So this will be y inverse x y y inverse. So this will be x y inverse. Now y inverse x equals to x y inverse, right? So hence proof. So y inverse x also commutes with y inverse as well, right? Now the final one says if x commutes with y, then x inverse also commutes with y inverse. अब आप ये देखो, इसको प्रूफ करने के लिए हमें किस चीज़ की ज़रूरत थी? We had this. So using this equation, we can prove the third part, right? So what does the second part say? Second equation say that by second, we can say y inverse x equals to x y inverse. What am I supposed to prove? X inverse y inverse equals to y inverse x, right? कैसे ला सकते हैं हम उसको? आपको y inverse के लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे x inverse चाहिए, right? So we can start from there. So x inverse y inverse x equals to x inverse x y inverse, right? यहाँ से I'm going to get x inverse y inverse x equals to x inverse, this is going to become y inverse, right? अब simple है, x inverse y inverse x inverse equals to y inverse x inverse, right? Why? Because I don't want this x here. So this is going to be what? X inverse y inverse equals to y inverse x, right? तो यहाँ पे तीनों postulates जो हैं वो आपने प्रूफ कर लिए, right? I guess with this we have come to an end of our abelian group, right? Now we'll just take an introduction of cyclic groups, ठीक है? थोड़ा सा intro लेके then we'll be continuing cyclic groups in the next lecture. Now what is a cyclic group? Very easy to understand, कुछ ज़्यादा fancy नहीं है. A cyclic group is when there exists an element A such that every element of A is generated by A. मतलब आप कुछ मत करो, एक किसी element को लो and if you keep on applying the binary operation on that element, you are going to generate each and every element of that group. For example, you can take Z6. Z6 में आपके पास किस तरीके के elements होते हैं? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now if you take 1 square is 1, 1 cube is 1 square is 2, 1 cube is 3. अब यहाँ पे क्यूब का मतलब क्या है? आई एम अप्लाइंग द ऑपरेशन 3 टाइम्स, ठीक है? देखो, इट माइट कंफ्यूज. दिस विल बी 1 स्क्वायर equals to 1 addition modulo 1 equals to, now 1 cube is 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Now 1 raised to the power 4 will be 1 plus 1. Confused here writing. I'll just write these and then I'll later on add, giving me 4. Now 1 raised to the power 5 equals to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 6 and okay, so this is going to give me 5, and finally when I'm going to operate it, how many times? 6 times. 6, which is addition modulus again. So what is going to give me? When I operated 1, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times and 6 times, it generated all the elements of the group Z6, right? अब यहाँ पे 1 can be generated by 1 raised to the power 1, right? So 1 is called a generator of the group, right? अगर आपके पास ऐसा कोई element मिल रहा है, then we call that group as cyclic group. Clear? Now, if G is a group with respect to addition, then G is given by NA. ठीक है? सेम चीज़ है यहाँ पे. आप क्या करते? 1 raised to the power 2 को आप 2a लिखते. So 2 into 1 is going to give you 2. Then 3 into 1 is going to give you 3. This is the basic. लेकिन अगर आप इस standard notation से चलो, that will be better for you, right? चलो. Then if A belongs to G, this is just a note to pay attention to. If A belongs to G and A is a generator of G, then order of A is equals to order of G. Now यहाँ पे देखो, what happened here is, what is the order of an element? Order of an element is when we operate it n times, it gives you the identity element, right? Now I operated how many times? 1. I operated 6 times and then I got the identity element, that is your 0. And how many elements are there in the group Z6? There are 6 elements. That means if a generator is there for a group, the order of that element is going to be definitely equal to the order of that group. Clear? तो यहाँ पे आप Z6 का एक एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हो, that for Z6 the group is generated by 1. अब आपके पास एक और एग्जाम्पल है, you can take the group of 4th root of u. What are the elements? The elements are 1, -1, eta and minus eta. Okay, now what is the generator of this group? अगर आप eta to the power 1 लेते हैं, you get eta square लेते हैं, you get -1, eta cube लेते हैं, you get minus of eta, and eta raised to the power 4, you get 1. तो अगर आप notice करो, you are getting all the elements of the group. That is your fourth root of unity, the group of fourth root of unity. That means I can say that this group is being generated by eta, right? And what is the order of eta? That is equals to 4, which is nothing but equal to the order of the group, right? So if there is an element which is generating the full group, the order of that element is definitely going to be equal to the order of the group. But converse need not be true. That means if there is an element that of order equal to the order of the group, that means that element is going to generate the whole group. No. For that, we can take one more example. If you want, you can pause the video here itself and brainstorm about such a group where the order of the group is equals to the order of some element, but that element does not generate the group. Okay, so one such example is going to be, यहाँ पे I will write the converse example is going to be z plus. If you take 2 as an element, the order is going to be infinite. Why? Because I cannot find any n for which 2 raised to the power n or n dot 2 is going to give me the identity element, that is your 0 element. Order of z is also equals to infinity, but 2 does not generate z plus, right? So z आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो उसको, z plus is not equals to, जब भी कोई cyclic group किसी element से generate हो रहा होता है, we write it in this form, right? Okay, now I wanted to take one homework. Check if the group of nth of unity forms a cyclic group, or wait a second, forms an abelian group, right? And second, cyclic group. Okay, you just have to check if the group is of nth root of unity forms an abelian group or not, or and a cyclic group or not. It does form a group, तो आप group वाला part मत करना, क्योंकि group वाला part वैसे हम discuss कर चुके हैं. What are the elements going to look like? You can revise that from here, and then you can just try to prove if the group is forming an abelian group or not, or if you are going to have an element which is going to generate the entire group or here. All right, so tomorrow we are going to continue with the cyclic groups. There are many theorems, and also we are going to check for all the other kind of cyclic groups that are present, and then we'll be taking up subgroups in the next lecture. So that's all for today. Thank you.